What's up, world? This is your girl P. So, how to get to know someone spiritually. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not here to project my opinion on you. I am just sharing my vantage point, and these are spiritual dating tips, is what I have. So, basically, this is just my vantage point, in my opinion. And again, I'm not here to project, but I feel like it will be wise and feasible to look at if you are single and you're looking to date, or I wouldn't necessarily say date, but you're talking to people, just seeing who could who you could communicate with, because communication is the number one key to getting into a relationship. And you may be able to relate that way, but a lot of times people put on fronts. And so, to prevent all of that, you have to get to know a person spiritually. So, when you're talking to a person, it will be wise to get their birth chart so that you can know what you're dealing with spiritually. Because we already can see, once we meet with a person and go out with them, what we get in the 3D, which is, you know, the material realm. But spiritually, underneath that face that you see, you know what I'm saying, underneath the outer layer of that person is something hidden behind all of that. And you want to know what you're dealing with deep down inside, because and this is just coming from personal experiences, and I'm not suggesting or trying to slander anyone that I was ever in a relationship with. But as I evolve, I understand that, we don't know who we are our own selves. So if we don't know who we are our own selves spiritually, then the person that you're in a relationship with, or going to be in a relationship with, if they don't know who they are spiritually, then you're not going to know who they are. You're just going to be able to go by what they show you. And so you want to be able to get into their birth chart, if they're willing to show it to you. Because if they're not willing to show it to you, then already that's a red flag, right? Because that person doesn't want you to, they're scared of what you may see, you may not like. Or it is not so much as what you may not like, but you have to know what type of energy you're going to be dealing with, and vice versa. They got to know what type of energy you have. And it's like, I think that, and background checks, and I would say that and background checks, I feel those two things are, something that, you know, you should, I think people don't look at when they get into a relationship. They just jump in. You don't look in the background, and you don't do a spiritual check. And spiritual check to me is looking in that birth chart, looking what the creator put inside of that person, what you can't see, the unseen. And it's those energies that you have to deal with, because even though you may be compatible in the 3D, you may be uncompatible in the physical realm, spiritual realm, excuse me. In the spirit realm, you may be completely incompatible, but you're compatible with what you show each other. And then you'll start bumping heads later on in a relationship, and you don't realize that you're not spiritually aligned. You're not compatible spiritually with your energies mingling together. It's like it's like trying to give a car a jump when the battery died. You can't put the wrong, cable on the wrong side of the battery, or it's going to start sparking, which cause arguments and explosions and things of that nature. So when you know how a person is spiritually, you know that way, if you don't match, or you don't align spiritually, both of you would know the reason why is because your energy don't match. And that would keep from people getting offended, because you can't get offended on something that you can't help. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be based on, oh, you're not good enough on the outside, when you know that you can always fix those type of things up. But spiritually, you can't change that. You can't change it spiritually. And the background check is just, kind of giving you an insight as to what that person has done, even if that person could have changed, you know, you still want to be able to see where that person, you know, where they been and what they been up to. And also, when you do get into a relationship, I feel like it should be feasible to have, you know, prenuptial agreements. And that's just my opinion, because that'll keep you from feeling used in a relationship. You go into a relationship, if you got a lot of money and you worried about somebody using for your money, because there are a lot of people out here that use people. It is what it is. It depends on the type of energy they have. And if that person is not okay with a prenup, or if you present a prenuptial agreement to that person and they get offended, then to me, that automatically tells me that where your intentions are, and there's no need to go any further. I just feel like, why, if we sit down and we have these type of conversations before we get into a relationship, we can save our own time. It's like, why are we going any further? You know what I'm saying? Because I know I don't want to be used. I know I'm not a user, but I don't want to be used either. I don't want to be used for my my mind. You know what I'm saying? I may not have the money, but I got smarts. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get me in a relationship, use me up to heal you, make you better for the next person, and dip out on me, and I did all that for nothing. And I'm not projecting. Again, we have these different issues that a lot of us feel like we've experienced in a relationship, and hopefully we heal from it. But if you want to make a relationship work and you're not in one and you're seeking to get in one, I just think that it would be feasible to do a background check, to do a spiritual check with the birth chart. And if you once you decide to get in that relationship, if you are a person that feel like, or you just want to protect yourself, you do a prenup, and like I said, I feel like if a person is not using you or don't have any intention on using you, they wouldn't mind signing a prenup. What you came in this relationship with is what you leave with. It's vice versa. I mean, what's wrong with that? And that way we won't have people, if God forbid, or heaven forbid, or Lord forbid, Buddha forbid, I'm not being facetious here. I'm just being real, because we all have a different name for the higher powers that be. But heaven forbid a relationship has to dissolve. We can go our separate ways without trying to damage another person or getting revenge on another person, taking something from another person. Just move on smoothly with your life and go your own separate ways. But that's just my vantage point. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got for you. And a holla though. One love. Peace.